In 1923, the University of Alabama offered Wade their head coaching position. What they got was an iron disciplinarian who immediately transformed the culture of Alabama football. Wade's players called him the Bear.
We ride with legends, we roll with pride. From Wade to Saban, the Crimson Tide. 18 rings, the record's clear. Dynasty built year after year. We teach the past, we preach the now. We break it down, show you how. From Bryant's grit to Bama's roll, we stomp the field and on the score. Around the herd, we speak the truth. Where glory lives and legends prove. Asking balls rise, Oats leads the way. Final Four dreams in full display. Gymnastics flips with flawless grace. Champions born in every space. We honor hustle, we praise the grind. Every sport, every tight mind. From hardwood heat to balance beam. We rep the red, we rep the team. Around the herd, we speak the truth. Where glory lives and legends prove. Around the herd, we speak the truth. Where glory lives and legends prove. We don't just talk, we educate. Breaking down plays, we elevate Heisman runs and draft day fame. We know the stats, we name the game. Rivals tremble when down us kneel. We bring the facts, we bring the fear. The same just hype its legacy. The tide rolls deep in history. Around the herd, we speak the truth. Where glory lives and legends prove. So tune in loud, let the story unfold. Of crimson fire and hearts so bold. We shine the light on every win. From past to present we dive in. This show's for fans who bleed that red. Who know the names, the paths they tread. We're not just proud, we're certified. The voice, the pulse of Crimson Tide. Around the herd, we speak the truth. Where glory lives and legends prove. Around the herd, we speak the truth. Where glory lives and legends prove.
Roll Tide, welcome back to Tight Sports, everybody. This is the Alabama Football Megacast. Alabama Nation, thank you for joining me tonight. It's a little late night with Tight, but before you get tucked in for the night, we're going to talk about this Tide. Tonight, I will reveal who I think the starting players will be for our defensive rotation. And before I get to that, Tide Nation, lock me in. And let's talk about your Crimson Tide, the greatest dynasty that the world's ever seen. I mean, that dude, Genghis Khan, he had a dynasty, but eventually it ended. So, hey, we've been around for a while. I think we go a little bit deeper than him. Before we get started, share a pound with a brother and drop the thing right down on that subscribe button as you settle in. We are running, folks, to make 1,000 subscriptions because 999 will not do. So keep it going and keep it growing. I appreciate the support. We've had an explosion over the last 2 weeks. Just explode. Just give it to me. Explode all over me. I can take it. And remember, if I successfully simulate the apple juice in your gray matter and make your funny bone jiggle, let the algorithm know what's going on. And poke that like button right in the eye. That's what I want you to do. Now, Tuesday night is a great night to talk football. What's that song? Y'all remember the last person? It said Sunday night, but I'm going to say Tuesday night's a great night for football, but we're just going to talk about it. Tonight, I'll give you my take on our probable starters for the Crimson Tide on the defense side of the ball, those valuable pieces across the board. But first, a programming note, with so much going on, I want to preserve Tuesday nights for mostly football updates. So that's why I've been trying to do this around the herd weekend thing. So I talk a little football, but man, we got a lot of people doing stuff. Man, we got Coach Oaks out there seeking ballers. He turned over every rock that he strong enough to lift, turning them over. We got the softball team out there establishing a new standard for the program. So be sure to smash that doggone subscribe button and flick that, however you flick it with you up. Flick that notification button so you know when I go live or I drop a thought-provoking video. Back to football. All right, let's get into this. I didn't address this. Hey, TikTok. I didn't address this, but I want to address this right now. The entire state of Indiana must have woke up and they chose violence one day. They just a couple of days ago, they just chose violence. They decided to play internet tough guy with Alabama football, and they've been doing this for more than 15 minutes. I mean, good Lord, they just found their fan base 2 years ago, and now they're talking like they built the damn pyramids. Bro, I mean, calm down, man. I just don't understand how this even blew up into anything. So Ty Simpson makes a comment, a pretty mild one, by the way, saying he thought Indiana's defense wasn't exactly like, the 85 Bears. And then here comes Brian Haynes, and Ty said something a little more mild. He said, they ran the same defense. They didn't do anything special. They just were so well coached. That's exactly kind of what he said. And then the defensive coordinator, who I ain't never heard of day in my life, come flying out of a cornfield like a scared goose, saying that Ty's comments were adorable. Yes, he actually said adorable. I met Brother Oliver. That man is no Brother Oliver. I don't even know if Brother Oliver has the word adorable in his in his lexicon. I just can't imagine Brother Oliver saying the word adorable. Anyway, this man, when a grown man call another man adorable, either he's mad, petty, or auditioning for some kind of reality show. So maybe they shoot some film up there. Public reaction was even better. One commenter said, Indiana talking trash about Alabama is like a kazoo trying to outplay the symphony. Another person said, they've been good for 5 minutes and now they're talking like they invented defense. And my personal favorite is Indiana football talking down to Alabama is like a house cat trying to intimidate a lion. But let's be fair. Ty's comments, they weren't perfect. He probably underestimated how sensitive some coaches are, He probably didn't expect a full-blown press conference response from a man who coaches in a stadium that still smells like basketball sweat. But Ty was speaking his truth, man. He wasn't being malicious. Y'all know Ty. Y'all heard him his pep talks during the halftime. Come on, guys. We got to get out there and just fire him up, and I'm telling you, we're going to hit him hard like pumpernickel bread that's been around for 2 weeks. Ty don't be getting crazy, right? Good guy. He wasn't disrespectful. He was just honest about what he saw. He's like, man, that's probably the hardest thing to do, really. You got a base defense that don't change, and they still keep kicking your butt. That's a compliment. They might say, oh, yeah, well, I went out there, you play against Auburn, and the guy, you think they're going this way, next day everybody behind you, then they said next to you. He just said they so good, they so well coached. I snapped the ball, I'm like, dang, go across. Go back across. I don't see nothing, coach. Nothing's changing out here. But Haynes' rebuttal, it was basically a mix of, you hurt my feelings, you're adorable, and we're awesome now because we won a game in January, finally. He even implied that Alabama fans were fragile. Brother, fragile? Fragile. No, man, we just loud, opinionated, and we know what excellence look like, and many of us have seen it for several decades. Me, for instance. So it's not fragile. Haynes acted like beating Alabama was, one time means that you're set for life. Like there ain't no more January's coming around the corner. You know what I mean? Like the football overlords up there saying, you beat Alabama. Okay, cool, do it again. He should go ask Spurrier. What happens when you beat Alabama one day? You know what I'm saying? And you're on top of the world. What about Dabo Swinney? Urban Meyer, down in Florida. Y'all remember that? Tebow, Tebow getting the credit for not even being the quarterback, but he getting the credit for being the quarterback. I don't know what the heck happened then. Next year, what he's doing? He's on the sideline crying. Les Miles, go talk to him. Regular season win, national championship loss. What happens when you beat Alabama and you think you're going to stay on top forever? They all got a nice little vacation from all those people got a nice little vacation from relevance after that. Not saying we destroyed nobody's program because they still play, but some people clutched their chest and left. So no, coach, no. You get your boys up. Let's do it again. You don't get to be a dynasty by talking on social media. You get the dynasty by doing what Signetti did. And the real question is, can he do it again? Because whatever magic he had last year, he better hope it wasn't a one-time special. Like them damn Mac Rib sandwich at Mickey D's. You go there one day, let me get that Mac Rib. I saw the commercial. They're like, that offer is over. Oh. Can't get them sandwiches all year long. And Haynes, buddy, maybe stay off social media for a minute, man. You're out here arguing with fans like you're trying to win over some kind of Facebook moms group. You're supposed to be preparing for next season, not throwing a digital temper tantrum because the quarterback said your defense wasn't terrified, but it was just well coached. God dang. And this whole, breaking Alabama fan base, come on, man, you sound like a teenager who just just got on Twitter for the first time. First Amendment rights protect the entire country, man. We say we want to say. We all got something to say, sucker. And we're going to say it louder than you because we've been doing this longer than you've been coaching. Me in particular. You may be a great coach. Coach me under. I'm going to still talk. I'm going to still say what I got to say. Let's be real. Indiana fans just found out what their football identity was in the last 2 years. They're still trying to figure out, where to park on game day. Are grills allowed? Gas or charcoal? Can we smoke cigars out here? They're still learning what top 10 wins feel like. And I promise you, when you can't live up to this new Indiana standard, your fans are going to bring the whole situation back up and ask, why were you talking so much in April? Why don't you shut your mouth? Shut your mouth, go coach somebody, go recruit somebody else. What we doing with 4 losses? I ain't looked at your schedule, I'm just saying. Keep it going. And to all the athletic directors out here, let me just point this out. If you're looking for a leader and a builder of men, let me give you some advice. Avoid the person who is more sensitive than one of these sea mines in the Strait of Hormuz. Okay? You may want to not get that guy. So if a coach can't handle a quarterback saying, I didn't think they were that good, then how's he going to handle a locker room full of 19-year-olds who just lost a game? And parents with real questions on the recruiting trail. What are going to do, just flip somebody's coffee table over? I wish he would at my house. Because here's the truth. Alabama can't win 18 national championships without taking a few lumps upside the head. I don't know if you know that, Coach. But that's part of the journey, man. That's part of the process. Because we always come back. We always respond. We always show up in January ready to ruin somebody's postseason. So, Coach Haynes, enjoy your moment. Enjoy your victory lap. But remember, January always comes back around, baby. And when it does, you better hope your defense is ready for round 2. Because talking is easy, winning again is hard. And beating Alabama twice, that's just a whole different story altogether. So enough of this front runner defensive coordinator. We all know his name now. You write it down, Haynes, Brian Haynes, just next time you see, that's the guy that was talking crazy on X, All right, Tribe, grab the round because we're about to break down this 2026 Alabama defense. A unit is so loaded, so deep, so disrespected by outsiders. I'm thinking that half the country must have amnesia or something. They must have forgotten what happens when you let, just let us get mad and start figuring things out. The Tide is mad, man. And they're about to take out any offense that has the audacity to line up against them. They're going to do their best. I think the Tide has a real good shot in every damn game we're going to play. They're mad about last year's run defense. They're mad about the transfer portal losses. These people, they're mad about the national media pretending like Alabama's supposed to be rebuilding instead of reload. And most of all, they're mad that anybody that thinks This defense is about to snap back into a top 5 monster with bad intentions. It's crazy. You're just out of your mind. Let's start with the linebacker. That's the biggest concern for me. Who's going to be wearing the green dots? You know? And these guys are lined up like a pack of wolves, man, who just found out who stole their lunch money. Man, the first guy through the door is a new guy, but he got a lot of playing experience. Man, Caleb Wilson, Virginia Tech. I was like, he's transferred. Sometimes they don't work out. I mean, we had one guy show up 2 years ago. They said he had to work on his cardio, and it never came to fruition. He was a number 1 person for his position. You go look it up and find yourself. I'm not going to disparage his name. Played a little bit, but not a lot. But they said he had a conditioning problem. So when people come from other schools, I'm kind of got my eye on like, so is that going to work? But Woodson put up 58 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble in the first 9 games for the Hokies last year. But an injury cut his season short. And even with limited time, PFF still graded him one of the top 20 linebackers in run support, which is exactly what Alabama needs, more run support. This man didn't transfer to compete. He transferred to start. And look, it's coming together for him. Wooden brings a physical downhill presence to the defense that's hard to ignore. His length and frame allow him to play bigger than his listed size. It makes him a versatile asset, man. Somebody that can disrupt passing lanes, stick his nose in the run game with equal effectiveness. He has a natural instinct on how he tracks down the ball, often finds himself in the right position before the ball carrier can reach that second level. And that's what we need. We need more of that. Lawson did it, Jefferson, but they gone. We lost a lot in the middle. I will admit that. But with this doggone thing called a portal out here, if you got the eye and you got a little money in your wallet, hey, you may not have a void for long. Go ask Miami. They find a quarterback every time they think about they need one. So Caleb Wilson, I think the guy's going to be in the star for him. The long-term outlook for this guy is bright, especially as he has, functional weight to his frame. His motor is his greatest intangible. Now, we love some high motor people. I just think Reuben Foster. Oh, God, he had a motor. That was one of them eggs. The last 3 letters in the car is an egg. I think it goes 300 miles an hour. That's the kind of Reuben Foster had, that kind of motor in it. He plays with a relentless energy and wears down opposing blockers over 4 quarters. So, get the right guy in there with him, it's going to look pretty good in that middle. And then you got QB Reese, young man. His father played over at Auburn, was a great play over at Auburn. And he returned to Alabama he put up 71 tackles last year, 6.5 for loss, 2 sacks, including his best 11 tackle night against Tennessee. He was trying to personally end that whole dang season in one night. He's fast, he's stronger, he's meaner than he was a year ago. And now he's playing like he got stock options in violence. He's one of the smoothest defensive operators we got out there when he drops in the coverage. He's moving with fluidity out there. Got that veteran. He's a veteran linebacker, even though he's just a sophomore. But I think he's been on campus for his 3rd year. Not sure about that. He possesses a rare calm in the middle of the field, showing the ability to read their quarterback eyes, jump routes without sacrificing his primary responsibilities. He has a promising future because of his he's got a high IQ. He's just got a high football IQ coupled with natural athleticism. Now, I wish I could get all the film and SEC, there you got to pay some money for that, baby. Tight sports. Hey, subscribe. Maybe we get there. But coaches have praised his ability to play sideline to sideline, and that range is a massive asset for a modern defense. If he continues to refine his techniques in the trenches, he has the potential to be a centerpiece of the unit. I think he probably will be the guy with the green dot on if something were to occur, but I think he's going to be starting right next to Caleb Wilson. And then you got to move over to, I call it a depth piece, Caden Jones. And he's a quintessential modern linebacker, sideline to sideline speed, all that. He diagnoses plays well. He just got on campus. He transferred in, but I didn't have any stats on him from his previous year, but it looks like he's going to be a rotational piece. It would be no surprise to me that the Crimson Tide is playing 30 people with decent minutes every game, because these guys stay fresh. It's going to be hard to beat them. It's going to be real hard. I mean, this guy they're saying like his hand fighting and shedding blocks is where he needs to, what Caden Jones needs to work on. But the ceiling is incredibly high for him because of his natural athletic profile. He has a nose for the ball that the coaches find is something that's impossible to teach. And that's a credit to him. And as he gains more experience and, high leverage situations, his confidence in taking calculated risks will grow because, sometimes it's just a crapshoot out there. Another depth piece we added last year, Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson is a physical specimen at linebacker position. He got violent hands. Ever since he was in high school, I did a video on him. He's a reliable tackler. He rarely misses. But they want that man to focus on his deep zone awareness and his overall speed and space. Maybe he's a little tight or something. You got to work on it. But in a spread out offense, he can sometimes be put in a bind when he's asked to cover somebody, an elite athlete, like, real nifty tight end. So he got to work on that. And so he got to stretch it out. He got to get limbered up and work on that speed, baby. But the guy that I want to see, that I know we're going to see, I think we're going to see everybody I mentioned. I think you're going to see him in first game and probably going to see him for the rest of the season. But Luke Metz, where's my doggone button? Luke Metz is a cerebral linebacker. Now, this guy's going to be starting next year. If he don't end up starting this year. Somebody twist an ankle, they ain't getting their spot back. Luke Metz is a cerebral linebacker, plays the game with a high level of technical discipline. His ability to read, pulling blocks, and flow to the ball is top tier. Often beating the play to the spot. Got to be careful there. Watch them cutbacks, Luke. But he's a fundamental tackler, man. He tries to put this on his. You know what I'm saying? Every tackle. And you got to be in position to do that. He rarely finds himself out of position, man. And they're trying to get him to work on his explosive power, his pop on the point of contact. Man, he been popping all spring. It's in the doggone reports. The ones I've read. But Metz, he's a coach's favorite because of his reliability and work ethic. So he out there working. Well, is he the most talented? He was pretty highly recruited. I think he was a 5-star, but, hard work, big talent when talent don't work. But when talent is working, oh my God. Anybody know about Derrick Henry? That guy works. Now, Metz doesn't beat himself up, beat himself with mental errors, which makes him a glue on defense. I mean, he played a lot last year. He played enough, so I think he's ready to go live fire. Then we got some guys. I just want you to know the guys we got in this middle, I think they could play anywhere in the country, in the Power 4, but these guys are going to be rotating in. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who we playing, you got to make changes anyway. But, you got to hold up for a minute because there's a freshman everybody keep whispering about, Xavier Griffin. Now, the whispering is, how we going to keep this man on the bench? How we going to not let this guy play? This man, they say he plays like, like he's, plays like a fire alarm, man. 6'3", already 225. He got track speed. It's almost like who's a thick track player? Let me see, like Ben Johnson. How he was built? Like he just accidentally just came on a doggone football field, And he just went to the linebacker meeting. They say, "Hey man, get your helmet, come on out here." But no, he don't have college stats, man. But he's got 5-star explosiveness. I think I already put his doggone video out. It's crazy. He got a reputation for ending drills early because he's too hard. It's too hard. Walk-ons don't want no more. But Xavier Griffin, man, he got that frame of a modern edge rusher. So he could move up to that where Yanzi is, something like that. But if he stays in the middle, it's going to look like Rolando McClain Part 2. You know what I'm saying? One Courtney Upshaw. Just big. Like, how is he able to? He could get me at the corner. Okay. This man got long arms, keep them blockers off. He got the vision to disrupt quarterbacks. He's surprisingly light on his feet. And he could chase. He could drop into short zones, and he could chase down plays from the backside with ease. I saw a lot of that. He was running down receivers and doing them jet sweeps. Not with this man on the field. Not in high school. Maybe they faster in college, but you better keep running, boy. Because Xavier is coming around there. He going to get you. But this guy, he has potential. I know you're not going to be probably, with a 5-star and all this, just not going to, not be able to put him in the mix. But I just talked about 6 people who got to play. 2 positions, 3 maybe, depending on how you move somebody. It's crazy out there. It's crazy with this defense. Kane Womack just got to, what combination is going to work best. I mean, he's already scheming up ways to release. I saw an article the other day. They said he got to figure out how he going to keep this man interested in the program, because he just can't let him not play. They have to give him some real good reasons. But, it's a grueling, hopefully, 16, 17 game year. I mean, people going to get ground up, have to take a break, in a game. May get dinged up. You got to rotate these guys. You got to have a high level rotation. So I think all these guys are going to play significant enough time to say, yeah, I played for Alabama, not that I was on the team. I mean, I just say, as far as your linebackers are concerned, if you're a quarterback in the SEC in particular, you want to make sure your health insurance is intact. Make sure your school got you taken care of. And if you're an offensive tackle, you might want to start stretching now, because you're going to need it. Now, you already know, when you come off that edge, wait a minute, I got somebody came in. Who was that came in here? Carla Hinton 812, Roll Tide to you. Thank you for joining me tonight on Tight Sports Around the Herd here Tuesdays. Hey, thank you for joining in. Please subscribe. Tell people about what we're doing. I want to talk about coming off this edge for a minute, if you don't mind, Miss Hinton. There's Yanze Pierre, the returning sack artist who decided skip the NFL. Come on back, get this money. I mean, play one more year, terrorizing young children. The man has a problem, a full-blown, unavoidable, call your coordinator and apologize in advance problem. This man, 52 tackles last year, 14 half tackles for loss, 8 sacks, 3 forced fumbles in 2025, including a dominant performance against LSU, where he lived in their backfield like he was paying rent, like he was calling plays like that. Like, let's go B-gap this time, coach. PFF gave him one of the top pass rushing grades in the SEC, and he's only getting better. That man is twitchy. He's explosive. He got that speed. He has the ability to convert his speed to power, and one of the most impressive, that's one of his most impressive traits. He can catch tackles off balance with his quickness, kind of like, not exactly like Derek Thomas, LT. Kind of like, I don't want to besmirch, I don't want to go too far, but he plays with a high level of suddenness. Like, 1 minute I'm about to hit him in his chest, and now he's slapping me on my back. How did he do that? Love that. That makes him difficult, to mirror in a doggone pass pro. They can't. What's that? So I love having a good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I got some key watch. But Pierre, he got to focus on that run defense and gap discipline, and he has a natural inclination to get upfield and hunt the quarterback. I can't blame him. I heard they're tasty. Not playing, but it's gonna occasionally leave him open for the run, draw plays and counters. You got to be more disciplined when he come around there, because he got a responsibility first. Like I told my son, he don't believe me. I said, son, you play defensive end, you have a responsibility. You can't let nobody run past you because you're looking for the quarterback. He's like, you know what you're talking about, Dad. I was like, okay. Yep. We'll see you in Division III. But he'll get there. And he got the athleticism to do what he wants to do. He's a star, man. He can change the geometry of the whole field. I like that, because really his backups have the same talent, it seems. Because he was like second, and then Ray Russo got hurt. Next thing you know, like, who is Yanzi? Who? So he's there, man. He's one of the best first steps in the game. Got that football IQ, is getting higher and higher every doggone game we see him play. He understands the nuances of offensive scheme. He's getting stronger and stronger. This man has turned himself into a number 1 draft pick. Y'all might as well get ready for that. And speaking of depth on the edge, these guys are operating like a pack mentality. And I think you play Yanzi for two, maybe 1, 2 plays. And you're like, well, he's gonna take a break. Why y'all taking Yanzi out of the game? Why? Because there'll be someone else on the edge ready and able to terrorize all offensive backfields. Yeah, have y'all heard about this dude, Desmond Umazulu? They call him Mzulu because it's, But he came over from South Carolina. I don't know if y'all remember, he was causing some problems. He was buried on the depth chart over there, but they say he been a problem out there in Tuscaloosa. You know what I'm saying? Like, Coach DeBoer went and got him and polished him up. Yeah, we can use that chess piece right there. This man had 29 tackles last year, 4.5 for tackles for loss, and 2 sacks last year despite limited snaps. And every report out of spring camp says he's playing like a man who just got parole and ain't going back. He ain't going back to South Carolina to that prison. The coaches are raving at his energy, his burst, his willingness to hit anything that moves. Now, this is the guy that backing up Yanzi Pierre. And we know Yanzi's out there. This guy coming in, I think he's going to junior maybe. And when you talk about hitting anything that moves, that's exactly how you become a legend up there at the capstone. This man, he got elite lift. He got that frame that's tailor-made for become an NFL edge defender. Got that wingspan, long arms, blocks, all that stuff. You know what I mean? And, they're going to work on stuff like his hand placement, his pass rushing plans. You got to have a plan. You just can't go out there like you're just a bunch of crazed dogs, as LT used to say, because he was a little bit more than crazed. If you know what I mean. But that's what LT said. We're going to go out like a bunch of crazed dogs. Yeah, you ain't crazy. You high. But he's going to refine his hand-to-hand combat, techniques and learn how to counter those moves, those initial moves, and to get blocks. They try to get him out of there. He's going to learn how to, maybe just learn the force or get the glow or something. I don't know. He's going to do what he can do because Desmond has a high ceiling and he's just scratching the surface. But when he get out there and start working with Brian Robinson, they're going to give him them techniques. And this is backing him up, man. This is backing up Yanzi Pierre. And don't forget Justin Hill is going to rotate it. He already been doing stuff. He had some good games last year backing up Yanzi Pierre. Man, when I tell you this defense is loaded, I ain't lying. I'm not making it up. I'm not lying to you. Justin Hill is an explosive edge rusher. He's lightning fast on get off. I know you probably need to get a little stronger, but he has the ability to have what they call a natural being. Now that's what Derek Thomas mastered. We talk about bending, that's why he got like 7-8 sacks in one game, blah, 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 blah. But everybody can't run full speed while they leaning, what is that? 38 degree angle. Everybody don't have that ability. But this man has a natural being that allows him to dip and and beat those tackles, get under those shoulders, man. And without losing speed. When you know it's a passing down and you want this guy to put pressure on the quarterback, do you put him in second? Sometimes he's going to catch third downs. And that's going to maybe shut down their 3.1 seconds. Maybe it goes down to 2.7. And that's all it takes to throw a bad pass to this no-fly zone I'm talking about in a minute. The next step for Hill, though, is expanding his power. Like I said, I think he's a little smaller, but he gets his power up, and he'll be able to deal with these doggone tackles straight up sometimes, because sometimes they want to get him and drive him on a run play. He can be like, no, get up out of here. He pushing them back like them guys at the trains in Japan. He's just pushing back, and then just pack them in there. Pack them on the backfield. We can all go back there to the running back. This guy is going to be a high-impact sack artist who can flip the momentum of the game, man, on a single play. All of them are. Do you feel me, people? Desmond, Justin, Yanzi, they're gonna impact the game greater than they did last year. I'm just telling you. Now we got to go to the line. And really, we had linemen that didn't have we had linemen. Like, DC's always say, oh, y'all don't have no linemen. Auburn fan, if you don't know Auburn addicts, buddy of mine, check him out if you want to hear some Auburn football. Anyway, check him out. And long-time friend of mine, he said, man, y'all ain't got no linemen. Y'all ain't got them saving linemen on with them 300-pounders that run 4.7s that got lightnings coming shooting out their back. I don't know. That's funny. But we had linemen, they just didn't have no experience, man. But because of the portal, the boy went out there, man, and do what he do. When Porter, when I guess Caleb, the boy, be sitting at his kitchen table and be like, man, we need some linemen, and we need some linemen with some playing experience. So the boy put on his farm boots and he just go out there.
You gonna eat your cornbread? Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
Caleb the boy will come to your house and get your cornbread, because this is exactly what he did. The starts here will depend on, opponents and stuff. I know they're going to rotate, but I can definitely say that these five of these guys that I'm about to start off with are going to get significant time. This group is just deep, man. This Las Vegas Blackjack, this group is so deep, I don't even see a drop off. We brought in a guy from Oregon, Terrence Green, 33 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2025. He had a monster game against Washington out there in the pack, whatever it is now. Who cares? Or what are they in? I don't know. Who cares? Terrence Green is a mountain of a man. This man, he's pretty big. His primary strength is his sheer mass, the ability to anchor the interior of the line, making him a difficult object to move. You know what I'm saying? Got to double team him, folks. If you got somebody you got to double team, just go look at the Cody film. Just go back to Terrence Cody, run that. And when he gets his hand inside a blocker's chest, he shows the flashes of power, the bull rush, man, that can collapse a pocket inside and out. Now, he may not find it that easy here in the SEC as he did, Washington playing at Oregon. With all due respect. But this man, he is a premier space eater who can disrupt the passing game. All you got to do is push that guy in front of you back 5 feet. 5 feet changes a lot. And he going to be doing a lot of 5 feet pushes with these centers in front of him. And as he continues to improve his conditioning and lateral quickness, he's going to become, effective pursuit defender on plays. For these run plays. He has natural physical gifts, and, he needs to refine his technical approach, but he has the potential to be a dominant force in the middle of this defense. Next is Devon Thompson, or is it Devon? Yeah, Devon Thompson. He came from USC. This man had 31 tackles, 6.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. He was the only bright spot really on their defense. Their defense couldn't stop a sneeze. And now he's in a real system with real coaching expectation, and Freddie Roach going to put these guys through the fire to get them right. This guy, Tompkins, though, they said one thing about him since he's been there. He has a high motor. He has a unique blend of length and twitchiness. So, he's like one of your not small, but more leaner defensive linemen, probably good for a different type of defensive end, but really big. He's very versatile. I don't know if they're going to put him all the way on the inside, but he got a wingspan you cannot deny. You got to tip those passes at the line of scrimmage, especially if everybody's trying to get rid of the ball in three seconds. But to maximize potential, he got to get a persistent pass rush plan. See, people, they think a lot of, you learn, these guys just don't walk on the field and like quarterback, go there. No, they can do that. You got to do it control. You got to work inside the system. You got to, if it's stunts, you just can't start running stunts on your own. Next thing you know, you got somebody ripping you up the middle for 30 yards because you ain't where you're supposed to be. So they're going to work through all that and teach him what he needs to do. Freddie Roach is not going to put this man there unprepared. They want to strengthen his lower body, but the thing is, he ain't got to stay in the game all day. He can be a disruptive utility man who could be moved across the front to exploit specific mismatches. You know what I'm saying? Because his energy is infectious right now. They say he simply makes plays sometimes outworking people. So what if you just get this guy more plays in the third and the fourth? When we really need to shut him down. We need to stop these offenses from moving, stop them dead cold. And then you got the man coming back who was already on campus. You got an all freshman SEC honors of London Simmons. Freshman phenom, put up 19 tackles, 1.5 and a 4 as a freshman. He forced a fumble last year. He's back. He flashed against Wisconsin. He flashed against LSU. He flashed in the playoffs like he was auditioning from a doggone superhero movie. But London is a pure technician. Now, he had to be a heck of a technician if he just can't Alabama start playing the first year. He knows he understands the nuances of leverage. Let's put it this way. He did a lot not knowing what he was doing. Now that he's worked with some people who have taught him what to do, get ready. This man has strength. His strength in his balance and the ability to maintain that low center of gravity. When I first did his recruiting video, I came up with this character. I said, I want a big monster standing over an interstate and he just stopping traffic. And that explains this guy. That's what I saw on the film. That's exactly what I saw on the field. It's me. What's going on? Tight. What AU fans know about football, man? Well, they do get people out of high school. They got, the guys come there and then they forget. They major in other things. That's probably they get it confused. You come there as a football player and you leave there maybe with education in something else, agriculture, cow tipping. But thank you, it's me for chiming in. But to elevate his game to the next level, man, they want this guy to get his speed up. They want him to start working on his pass rush a little bit more. And, he's excellent at ground. I mean, he's excellent holding his ground and pushing the pocket. But they want, we want K. Womack say he want to make a concerted effort to make sure they can get more pressure out of front 4 or 5 so we don't have to blitz. And we got people that can rotate in and make that happen. I already told you, you got no fly zone behind you. If you can make the guy throw the ball, QB Reese, Luke Metz, Caden Jones, whoever, they hold down the middle. You throw that ball over 12 yards if you want to. Throw it, and I'm gonna talk about it in a minute. That's why I'm saving the so-called best for last. So they got the most pressure on them. But Simmons is a kind of reliable, high IQ player, man. He serves as a backbone of a successful defensive unit. That's what he was last year. He rarely makes those mental errors that so many young players make. And this year, I don't expect to see him pop up out of nowhere. He consistently executes his role at a real high level. If he gets like a little more suddenness in his physical profile, this dude he may get like second or third team all SEC. Wouldn't it be amazing that man made all SEC? I would say all 4 years, but all 3 years, because after the third year, he gone. But behind him is a small army of 300-poundish men. They all run like they're late for a flight. You got Bingley Jones, who had 14 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss. Mboma had 11 tackles on the sack. Edric Hill, 9 tackles and a tackle for loss. Beeman had 12 tackles and 2 tackles for loss. Faga had 8 tackles, and Henry had 6 tackles. That's the kind of depth that makes offensive coordinators stare at the ceiling at 3 o'clock in the morning like, man, what is we going to do tomorrow? This is just the front now. There's going to be some rotation. Well, all these guys I just mentioned play, but I don't know, but it would sure be nice to see us rotate 6 or 7 in there. It could go 8, some team, in some games, but it would be nice because they'll be fresh. And if they can all operate nearly at the same level, that's going to be hard. Running back's going to be questioning their career choices. Like, man, can't even let me do nothing. I got to trying to run the ball, man. Dude always grabbing me. But that's the kind of depth that makes Alabama, Alabama. This doggone Kedrick Bingley Jones, seasoned veteran, brings a high level of strength, a professional approach to the game, heavy hands. When he punches, you've been punched. And the Clubber Lane just walked on the field, got upper body powers, we tossing blockers aside, you be diagnosing plays. Put him in the game, especially on first down. 4th down. But we let too many 4th downs go, you ask me. He can anticipate where the ball's going, man, before the play even unfolds. So he got that experience, he got that eye. But you cannot leave this man on the bench all game. There's no need of letting 3 people trying to play the whole game. But they rotate. You guys see him going in and out. And you go to like Steve Bolo Mboma. I've been waiting this guy for so long. They say he was a bit of a project coming out of Canada via Cameroon, if not mistaken. But he's a bit of a project. They want to get his physical stamina up. But he was the guy that sent AKD flying in the A-Day game. And he really could have did that in the first year. Just in case you were wondering, AKD weighs 224 pounds, and he went flying like a frisbee. Good block, though. Way to sacrifice your body, AKD, but man, that's kind of stuff like if you went to one of them, Legends event where you like, you go out there and figure you're going to block somebody like, I don't know, Pancake Man or somebody, Orlando Pace, and you're an old man. That's how they hit you, let you know that it's real. And you don't want to play no more. You say, hey, when is lunch? When's lunch? It's 9 o'clock, bro. Sounds like a good time for lunch to me. But Steve Bolo Mboma, man, this man, he is a strength at the point kind of elite player, he definitely would be in the middle. I mean, you still got to put him there a couple of plays just because he's just heavy. He's just heavy. He's heavy in the game. His ability to completely stall the momentum of you got to run around him, man. They want to just get his overall instincts down. When he was in, I think he was playing prep ball in Canada, he was playing like a middle linebacker. Yeah. And he wasn't small. Probably was 250 at that time. But now he's a big guy. But he's learning the finer points of the position. I think he's ready to really have a breakout year. You know, he's a boom prospect because you saw he brings the boom. He has the frame to become a dominant force in the SEC. And he definitely can control two gaps at one time as the game slows down for him, which I think is starting to do. And his technique catches up to his strength because he came in. I can't say country boy strong because he's from the continent of Africa or Cameroon, country of Cameroon and Canada. He got some kind of strength. He got some strength. I'm looking forward to the day when that guy's out there for like 30% of the time. And I'm like, we were just saying, ooh, look at the center back. He holding his back. His back hurt just trying to block this dude. We see you next week, center. Edric Hill is a versatile defensive lineman who excels at using his quickness to navigate through traffic and find a ball carrier as well. He got a great motor. I think he was a little smaller, but he often makes tackles like 10 to 15 yards down the field, which is good, but not great because you really want it to happen earlier, but he can move. He has very active hands to keep those blockers off. Like I said, he's a rotational piece. He may always be that until, maybe a little bit further down the line, but he's going to be a highly productive, high energy defender who can play multiple roles along that line because he's just probably smart enough. Big Steve, you're right. Steve, man, let me tell you something, man. It just be one day. I don't know. Please go back and watch the video I did on him. It got a lot of sound effects in it. I'm sorry if it's like I'm making light of some people's misery, but I was. When he hit people, and some of that stuff is JUCO. When he hit these people flying just like AK did. AK the first one. Oh, he got on that video. He got at least about 4 or 5 of those. Because when he hit you, you're going to move. But back to Edric Hill. As he matures physically, his combination of effort and athleticism will make him a constant thorn in the side of opposing offenses. Maybe defenses too. They probably got their mouths twisted over there. They're like, God, dog, we got to go back out here? And we had Jamarion Lathan. He got hurt last year, but he got that experience. And luckily he came back. He's healthy enough to play. I don't know if he's going to get in like early. I don't know where his status is, but I think he is out there at least training. He plays with that veteran poise. Never seen he was really getting momentum right before he got hurt. He was getting to that point. He was that piece, on that line that we needed. And boom, he had that injury, and it just changed everything. It was a practice injury. It was a neck injury, if I'm not mistaken. But they want to get this guy, get his skills back up. They got to get his wind back up to where it needs to be. He's a reliable blue-collar defender, though, he provides a steady and influence for the defensive front. He has a high floor as a player. You can count on him to be in the right place at the right time. So I'm just showing you we got people that can rotate in. And I'm thinking, while some of these people that I'm naming here late, they're not really projected as starters. If somebody falls off, and I hope we don't have no bunch of injuries, but if we had 2 people, by the time you get to game 7, these guys should have enough playing experience to step in wherever they need to be impactful. And we still got more. Like Isaiah Faga, dynamic interior defender who plays with a low center of gravity. He's a little guy, man, he's shorter than the other defensive linemen. Ain't nothing little about him. I want to just clear that up real quick. But his primary strength is the ability to play with leverage, constantly getting in on the pass of offensive linemen, driving in the backfield. Saw it several times last year. I saw it several times. And, he has a quickness to his game, too. It's deceptive for his size. Allow him to win across from the face of a blocker. You know what I'm saying? Disrupt plays before they get started. I saw it a few times. He didn't play a lot, but he played enough to know that, hey, who is that guy? You know what I'm saying? He was right there in the middle. And you're right. I love Latham. He's been around a long time, and I'm hoping he can just get out there and have a real productive year and move on to the next level. But, Fogger, they want him to work on his hand fighting and his secondary pass rush skills, and his bull rush is effective, but they want him to do something else up in there. You know what I mean? Because he's still on the inside, so I know he just rather just crush people, put them on their back, and step on their face and get to the running back or slap the quarterback across his neck. Stuff like that. Stuff we all love to see, but he's a high upside interior player, man, who can contribute both in the run and the pass game. He has natural lift that makes him a nightmare for taller guards. And his motor ensures that he's always around the football. I saw it already. And I'm not even going to talk about the people who just got up on campus. I'm moving on, but this form has been effective for 2 years. I remember everybody wanted to they got to get this Cable back out of here. He made me sick. How would he lose that game? He had some bad games. The Oklahoma game was kind of crazy with Milrose's quarterback. That was crazy. That was more offensive thing than it was defensive play. Golly, it's been effective for 2 years. But based on what I was just showing us about the front, with a 4-2, I guess front six. I was about to say front seven, but it's a 4-2, so it's 6. The Swarm, it's now time to stifle back, stifle these backs down and see an improvement on the 2025 numbers. For instance, we were 20th in the nation last year in points allowed, 19.2 a game. We know the people that beat us got a lot more. But that puts us 20th. If with these people I just talked about, we should be able to squeeze down and get in that top 10. And I think top 10, you got to be around 13 points a game. You're talking about 1 touchdown, 2 field goals, keeping these people out of scoring position. We were 37th in rushing defense. I know, horrible. But you got to go back. We ain't been that great in a long time before the boy got there. We gave up 126 yards a game. If we can get down to 105, that puts you in the top 15% in the nation based on last year's numbers, but you know what I mean. We were 13th in total defense, 296 yards a game, which ain't bad, but we were 13th. Well, we need to get in that top 10, and I think we can do it with these guys. We were 28th in sacks. We had 2.2 sacks a game. That's 33 sacks. But if we can get up to 3, that gets you into the top 10. From 28th to, this ain't a lot to ask. We're talking about 1 more sack. You know what I'm saying? 1 more sack. It's me can go out there and get 1 more sack a game. We maybe half of the season. But this is what we're trying to do. And another stat people don't like to look at, we were 48th in opponent third down conversions. We gave up 37% of our third down conversions. We need to trim that down by 7%. If you trim that down by just 7%, and for those that don't know, I like to look at numbers like this. I know that better than football numbers. You trim that down by 7%, that gets you into near the top 10, and really getting into the top 20 would be nice because that's less possessions for the offense. Now, I'm forgetting something. Oh, yeah. I'm forgetting the doggone the secondary. Hey man, this secondary returns Xavier Brown, lockdown corner, 39 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 pick sixes, 149 return yards last year. I mean, he's a playmaker ever since the world. I can't believe they started him as a freshman. He saved the game, but last year, man, he just makes my heart go pit-a-pats. Against Georgia, man, this guy has quickly established himself as technically sound. I ain't even got to look at all this stuff. He has a level of maturity that you just don't see on a person that's a sophomore. Now you're a junior. Now he's the old man back there. His strength is his football IQ. They say everybody that go to his school, they got that IQ. We need to keep some more of them coming this way. He rarely falls for these double moves or eye manipulation from the quarterback. He's just where they need to be all the time. Every time they throw the ball, he out there doing what he got to do. And what is this thing doing? So he had to do my little thing for TikTok here. But he has a high IQ. And they say he got to work on his run defense. That's the only thing they want him to improve on. But the only thing he can do is go play linebacker. Because I seen that man on the run defense. He gets off the block. He makes tackles. You know? And there's Dijon Lee, 34 tackles, 4.5 for loss, 2 interceptions, 5 pass breakups, earning all SEC freshman honors or freshman all SEC honors. And, you know, the game sealing pick against Missouri and a moment shifting interception against Eastern Illinois early in his career. But that dude is ready for prime time. He's a freak athlete at 6'4". That's rare, people. But I think Womack and them, they like these tall, these lengthy guys. You got to have speed, but I think it's about that angle. When somebody got you beat, they really, really got to have you beat more than 25 yards down the field for me not to be able to put my hand up, which makes me probably makes them about a little bit over 8 feet long or whatever, and get that ball in there. So yeah, you can get little DBs that run 4.1s, but if I run a 4.3, 4.4 and I'm 6'4", it's gonna make them angles kind of hard to get through. But this guy he got massive wingspan. I think his wingspan is that of a person that's like 6'8". That means he's longer this way than he is this way. So that's why he's freak-like. He just, when I see him in interviews, he talking like he's small. I'm like, dude, you ain't small. Stop looking down to people. He's just a humble guy. Seems real nice. But he's fast though. He got the ability to turn and run on vertical threats. Definitely probably need to get better at working on his on the run defense. But I've seen him. See, they can't really, a wide receiver has a hard time blocking that dude because he's just big. You know what I'm saying? But he got to be careful because people are going to start to use his size against him. And, you know, keep working on his fluidity and his transition and all that stuff. But he is clearly somebody that's looking like a six years in the NFL, just right off the bat. He got all the physical traits that can't be taught. He just plays well, and he ain't afraid. I mean, he took some lumps last year. That was Saban took some lumps his first year. This may be Dijon Lee breakout year, but you got his backups. People are like, who are the backups? Y'all, Chuck McDonald third. He is a high upside freshman. Maybe people forgot about him because he came in 2 years ago, but this dude he has a 93 speed rating. Like when he snapped the ball, he there. Where are we going? He got that recovery gear. He can make up ground even if he loses a step. This is probably going to be the guy that's going to be a third cornerback on the field. If they don't let Red cover him from the, the Husky position. But if we need to have a third, we got a third. This man, you know, he's 6'1". He can challenge on those 50-50 balls with anybody. He's a young guy. He got to work on his technical consistency, but he got in the game a little bit last year. The ceiling, like for McDonald, is that of a future shutdown corner. I mean, because if they step out, somebody got to step in. I mean, step out like go to the NFL next year. I mean, this is probably his last year. He can stay, but it could be his last year. But I want him to stay. Y'all want him to stay? You better write some letters, get on his Twitter and let him know. He has a physical profile, McDonald does, you know, that the Alabama staff loves. They just love these long DBs. And this iron sharpening iron culture of ours, it really works really well. And with more experience, a deeper understanding of the defensive system, he's going to transform into a refined defensive weapon for the Crimson Tide. Xavier Mincy, that's why I go back and forth. One day I say McDonald's going to be Xavier Mincy, 6'3". He's physically imposing the defensive backs. You know what I'm saying? He has elite acceleration. He can cover a massive amount of ground. I mean, this defense, these are the guys that are rotating in. These are the backups. See, these guys are already been making plays, including Luke Metz and Duke Johnson on special teams. They be out there hitting and popping people. This guy he can hit. Xavier Mincy can hit. He has downfield explosion. He's a fluid mover for his size. And I just look forward to just seeing these guys just take. I mean, he took a big step in the spring, proving that he's ready for a larger role in the 2026 rotation. He got an athletic profile that modern defenses look for. And he's a player that can cover, he can cover length, and he can hit like a linebacker. Like I said, he might go to that Husky, but speaking of Huskies, this is my favorite player. Right now, Red Morgan, boy. Oh, yeah. Phoenix City. That's right. He is in Phoenix City. Hey, homegirl. I'm kind of like Phoenix City. I'm down there, Tuskegee. But Red Morgan, the Swiss Army knife for the Alabama secretary, 2 years ago, they thought that he was going to leave because he just wasn't getting the playing time they thought he should get. And he stayed put, man. Now we need Red Morgan. I don't even know how many years he got left. We need this man. This man is so versatile. I mean, he can go down in the box, make a play, check tight end off the line, do his best, receiver, all that. His primary strength is the ability to operate at a high level across multiple positions. You just don't find this anywhere. I mean, he's a nickel back, and he's outside the cornerback sometimes, and he's smaller, but he's a striker. Well, he'll hit you. He'll hit you. If he square up on you really good, he don't miss too many tackles. I mean, sometimes you get him, but he do his best. He's entering his is this his third year? But his main area for growth is his absolute consistency. But I don't really agree with that, because how you gonna be consistent when you don't know where you're gonna be from one place to the next? One play to the next. One play he back here, one day he up here, bumping the tight end and going out getting the running back. It's the hardest. It is really the hardest. But he is one of my favorite. Yeah, that's right. Tuskegee is right up the street. And you spell street wrong. It's S-K-R-E-E-T. Now, because he's asked to do so much blitzing off the edge, playing the box, covering up top-tier receivers, it's challenging to do all that. You got to have different skills for that. But that man is up for the challenge every week. I see him out there balling. Matter of fact, on crucial downs, I be looking, where's Red? Okay, they go Red right there. Red is going to be around the person they're counting on, making them go somewhere else. I can't even explain it, especially when it's a tight end. If you got like a tight end heavy team, Red be out there balling. I'm sorry. He models his game after former Tide standout Brian Branch, and his influence is evident in his high IQ. He possesses a rare mentality required to play the Husky position, because you got to go up there and be ready for physical combat on the interior while maintaining, speed on to track these plays down from sideline to sideline. And he just embraces that role. He ain't complained about it when he wasn't out there and thought he was going to be a cornerback, and they put him at safety, and they said, Womack, you're going to be a Husky. Or what? You're going to be on the field. Oh, okay. All right. Then you got his backup, I think. Carmelo O'Neal's a unique hybrid defender, 6'4". He got that transfer experience, brings in a different dimension. This man, he can cover your X receiver. He can stabilize that box if you need him to. He's just like Red. It says Red is proven. Red Morgan is proven. But Carmelo O'Neal is in the right place, because we do need a backup. You never know when somebody gets dinged up or somebody just need a breather. This guy is transitioning to the school. His film shows he has a high level playmaking, and his margin for error is much smaller at this level because he's in the SEC now. But luckily he has a high IQ addition. He's a high IQ addition to the roster, and it gives him a natural 50-50 advantage in ball situations because of his size. It makes him valuable in the red zone when we need to flood it with a bunch of backs that can get a pick or at least knock it down. But as he fully integrates to the Tide scheme, his ability to play multiple roles will allow the coaching staff to get creative with the defensive alignments. I just want you to hear all this. This guy was over at Mercer. And by the way, just let you know, the reason they went and got this dude, that when we played against Mercer, yeah, we stomped Mercer out. But this guy was covering Jeremy Bernard. Yeah, don't get caught up by the score. Jeremy Bernard, he didn't catch a pass on this guy. That's why he's at Alabama. Yeah, so you can smirk at Mercer if you want to. They saw something. They went over there and they got that man off of Mercer's plate. They took their cornbread and they kept it moving. Now the safeties, safeties is one of the biggest oxymoronic names in football, especially Alabama, because there's nothing safe with dealing with these dudes, whether it's physically as a receiver or mentally as a quarterback. There's nothing safe about these gentlemen, starting with Keon Saab. He's a veteran back there. I mean, he lines the defense up. He's that quarterback back there in the secondary, a stabilizing force. I know he got hurt that time. I think when we ended up with, what was that, with Michigan? That wasn't Michigan. No, that's the year after Michigan got hurt. he did something with his foot. He broke a bone in his foot, but last year got 15 starts. In those 15 starts, he was able to get 54 tackles, including 2.5 tackles for loss and a sack. And he was just, just steady Eddie back there, in that high stake environment. Tallying more stops on the road and in neutral sites. This man was his presence was his primary strength. Like he was always there to make a play. He was like being a safety. He was truly that safety valve, that thing that made it kind of just stick together. He maintained an elite level of focus, during the quiet moments, and that's going to be key for 2026 because he'll be a stabilizer. Because Bray Hubbard is a wild man. He's a wild man. So this guy Saab kind of holds that secondary together, that back seven together. You know what I'm saying? To the linebacker, he gonna watch that game. Hey, I see this. You don't see it move. Making those calls to make sure we don't get killed in the passing game, making us very effective. Make sure that we stay disciplined, aligned, and even when facing complex offensive shifts, this guy is still on Johnny on the spot. He's making sure we're lined up correctly. Then you got Bray Hubbard. I'm so surprised he came back. This man is an elite playmaker. He got a nose for the ball, former quarterback, he from somewhere down there in Mobile. He racked up 79 tackles, 50 solo. I don't like that because he's where he's standing. He's standing back here most of the time. I like my linebacker than them. But anyway, 50 solo, 4.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions by breaking up 6 passes. Pro Football Focus gave him an 83.5 overall defensive grade. But then when they looked at his primary strengths, it's still the run game. I'm like, okay. They gave him an 88. I don't know how he don't have a 90. I don't know how Bray Hubbard don't have a 90. I don't know. I don't know what he got to do. He just got to see the helmet fly off with the head in it. I don't know what that man got to do to be rated as a 90 on something. Just please, something, guy. He got to be a 90. This man is a hammer moving downhill. Just a hammer, just coming right at your throat. I mean, he's NFL, top tier NFL prospect. Maybe he thought he would be a day 3 pick and maybe want to prove that he should be a day 1. I don't know. But this guy because he's a quarterback, he has that high IQ. He knows what's about to happen most times, even when he's late. Like that game against FSU, I didn't know who that was. That ain't Bray. That ain't the Bray I know. I don't know y'all. I ain't recognize him. But he's from then on, he's been a reliable force in every sense. Rarely found himself out of position. His combination of toughness and tactical precision makes him a cornerstone of the Crimson Tide defensive philosophy. And he just falls in line with the rest of the safeties we've ever had. How is he different from, I can't even name, but Fitzpatrick or Minka Fitzpatrick? Just how's he just back there making plays at that safety position to make you say, dang, I wish that safety would come to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll take a quarterback instead this year. I'll take Ty Simpson and get this doggone witch out of here. Now, backing those guys up, I'm gonna be rotating in. You got a guy who's he's been flashing all last year, and he was on special teams, but even across 15 games, he got 14 tackles. I'm talking about Yvonne Taylor. Hey, man. Hey, this man's the game is already slowing down for it. He been, talking to his daddy. His daddy got him ready to play. It's translating into a high IQ of instincts, and hopefully, soon, next year, maybe, not 2026, 2027, maybe a full-time starter. This man is highly sought after. He's stuck with us, and it's time for him to make these splash plays, man. He's a major riser in the game, man, proving that he can be trusted in any situation. As he continues to grow, his reputation for detail-oriented play will make him a player that the coaching staff finds impossible to keep off the field. They even said that between him and the next guy I'm going to talk about, Dre Kirkpatrick, two guys whose dad played in the NFL. They talking about Bray may be going down in the box. I don't know if they're going to send him down there to play the Sting or the Mike or just send him. And they say they're gonna bring somebody else in for Bray. It's crazy. But Dre Kirkpatrick been making his presence felt in 2025. 8 games, 9 tackles. He had a forced fumble and a pass breakup last year, and he has that same playmaking DNA of his father. He got a special teams player of the week, Arnold versus Vanderbilt. These people are already producing. Now it's time to see when we're going to get them in the rotation, get them ready to be starters, get them ready to take over somebody, hurt an ankle or something or sprain a wrist. And, Kirkpatrick was in the doghouse, but you saw 8A. He got him picked, and he's out of the doghouse. We hope he learned his lesson. He had to get a little belt on his tush, and because he almost lost it all, man. That craziness. But at time they're saying that his aggression can lead him to over pursue people, but he's also going to be expanding his frame, so that'll allow him to hold up a little better, against these physical X receivers, these SEC, these bigger receivers that we have out there. But this guy's a high energy defender who understands the weight of the Crimson Tide legacy. His growth from a special team standout to a defensive contributor shows a play he's willing to work every snap. And you can see he has a high motor. But wait, there's more. We just brought in a stud. So we just talked about Ivan Teller. We just talked about Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. Just getting on campus out of St. Francis Academy in Baltimore, Maryland. I hate him. I'm telling you, Carla, I don't use to hold people more than an hour, but I got to because I want people to understand what we're working with. This is crazy. Jari Edwards just arrived in Tuscaloosa as one of the most decorated recruits in the nation. 5-star. I don't know if you watch my video. I put it, just watch the video. I got, matter of fact, I did a short. Every time a 5-star gets signed, if he's a 5-star anywhere, and it don't have to be a consensus, I do a short video as soon as they sign, whether they come or not. Just like Ty Hayward. I did a video over him, and he went to freaking from Texas to Michigan, but now he's back. Hi, Ty. Anyway, Jari Edwards arrived in Tuscaloosa as one of the most decorated recruits in the nation, coming off of a 2025 high school season where he was a central force for a national championship team at St. Francis Academy up there in Baltimore, Maryland. This man had 167 tackles, 6 interceptions, 2 which he took back to the house. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Maryland. They do the one for every state, then they do one overall. Keelan was overall. But he's, he got a reputation as a thumper. He'll hit you, he'll hit your mama, he'll hit your sister. And as long as it's during the game, I don't have a problem with that. And he's transitioned to this college game. They're talking about he got to learn how to play downhill and keep up with the speed. But they say he's matriculating very well. We're definitely gonna see him on special teams. Got to let him go out there and get some hits out there. I just cannot wait, man. This guy, first of all, he's 215 pounds already. Just straight off the bus, straight off the high school bus. 215 pounds. He cut up. Yeah. He real cut up. He is cut up. And he gonna have to learn the intricacies before he gets on the field and just do everything. But look who he learned. He's under the tutelage of Keon Saab. He's under Bray Hubbard. He's around Red Morgan. If he soak in just 25% of the knowledge that each one of those guys have, man, he probably gonna be petitioning to go to the NFL in 2028. But I think he have to wait till 2029. But he has natural aggression, playmaking instincts. We know they all got to be raised up, though. They all got to learn the nuances. I'm sure the coaches will get him right. But he is big enough to go into the box sometime with that's why they talking about moving Bray down some. They trying to get these other guys in the game. I don't know if they talking about doing that against LSU, but I'm hoping not. But I don't know what LSU gonna do. But I can see him. Miss Hinton, you're right. We have good problems. I look forward to this. Folks, that passing defense last year, they gave up 169 yards per game, making us a top 10. It's time to go into the top 5 spot, right? 169 yards. Most of the quarterbacks I look at on Saturday, they throw for 250 to 300 or at least 250. I'm trying to see how we lost these games. Rush defense, lack of a run game. Passer rating is off big time though. We were 43rd in passer rating, 123.96. We'd like to get that down to 115. That would move us into the top 15 of all the teams in the country. And interceptions, you know what? We ended with 53rd with 11 picks. Now, we need to grab about 4 or 5 more of those. You know what I'm saying? But with that pressure from the lineman we talked about earlier, as long as everybody's clicking together, as long as we're able to maybe get more pressure with the front 4 or 5, shouldn't have a problem pick up another 4 or 5 doggone interceptions. You know? And so what does all this mean? This means that Alabama's defense is about to be a problem. That's what I think. We're about to be a monster out here. A big problem. But everybody thought that we were going to just be inconsistent. This is about to be a top 5 defense. If they get the consistency up front, it's going to be a problem. And with the rotation, the transfers, the freshmen, the returning stars, this unit is built to hunt, not survive, not compete, hunt. And let me end this by saying everybody out there that's talking about having their work to do after A-Day, relax, man, drink some water. A-Day is a scrimmage. It's not a prophecy. The defense wasn't even lined up one-on-ones most of the time. It was a mixed match, rotational evaluation, memo madness. And if you're a smart coach, that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? You got all your scrimmages. Hey, how does that doggone third string guy or that freshman or that walk-on look in this set or that set? You can see flashes of what the group could become. But, you know, just calm down. Tell me we need to work where we got to work on. We got to work on everything, you know? Now, this is your 2026 Alabama defense. It's fast, it's deep, and it's angry. And it's about to remind the college football world that you do not, under any circumstances, underestimate the resilience of the Crimson Tide from this day forward. Just remember that, folks. I told you, DeBoer domination is ahead. And I want to thank you guys for joining me here tonight. I'm wrapping it up. Next week, I'm going to do the offense, going through the same way, but I don't think it's going to take as long because the rotations are just not that deep. We just got to figure out who's going to be our 4th, 5th, 6th receiver and sprinkle in a couple of running backs, and we'll get up out of there. But the defense was going to take time. I just want everybody to know what we're working with. We ain't working with no busters out here. You know what I'm saying? We're not working with no busters. And I think Freddie Roach, Brian Robinson, all the defensive staff, they're going to do everything they got to do to make these guys so impactful. And after we do the offense, we're going into the schedule. That's right. I'm going to break down East Carolina because they need to be broken. Thank God Mr. Beast didn't give him that $100 million for the 2026 season. I don't know if y'all heard that. Mr. Beast just said, hey, I ain't got nothing to do. I'm going to give $100 million to a college program and you did blah, blah, blah. Well, Mr. Beast spends a lot of time. The Muhammad Ali defense. Yeah, the greatest of all times. But look, I'm going to go through each one of these teams. I'm going to start off with our first team, and that should take us all the way on Tuesdays, take us all the way to close to the season. Then we'll probably relook at this, and we'll see more depth charts coming out, and we'll talk about them and tell you how right I was. But that's all I have. We will be sure to hit that subscribe button, please. If you like this video or this live thing, you know, let people know that you like what you saw, what you hear. Tell your friends, spread it around. And be sure to hit that, flick that notification bell. Flick it. However you flick. Some of y'all flick like this. Some of y'all flick it. Flick that notification so, because sometimes I drop something that's thought-provoking. Sometimes I go live, especially on the weekend. I don't know what time on the weekend, but I just go live just because I'm crazy. But so much information builds up during the week, I can't get it all in on Tuesday. So I want to leave Tuesday kind of mostly for football, and the weekend I'll do some football and other things. I mean, because our softball girls are killing this thing. Number 2 in the country, folks. Do y'all not know that? Number 2 in the country. But yo, that's all I got. I'll thank y'all for joining me. Woo, I am tired. So good night to all. Thank you for It's Me. Thank you for Miss Hinton for joining. Was that it? Let's see, Miss Hinton. Yeah, let's see. I like to shout everybody out. Miss Hinton, It's Me for joining. Thank you guys for sticking in here. Thank you, Miss Hinton, for being involved. Get involved. Say something. Thank you for saying so. So good night to all, and to all a food fight. And always remember, no matter how it's going, it's always roll, tide, roll.
No matter I'm coming. No matter I'm coming. Yeah. Yo. Check the blueprint, Tuscaloosa's the foundation. We birthed a nation, the bats caused a nationwide evacuation. The sea was the proving ground, the standard we set high. Saw Henry and Ingram touch to Heisman sky. They handed out the stiff arm, it was more like a smash. Made that whole damn curse look like absolute crap. We talked 4,000 yards, talked 40 touchdowns deep. You thought you had the angle, but you fell fast asleep. Derrick Henry stepped up, 6'3" and 247. A freight train out of hell, sent straight from football heaven. He didn't sidestep, nah, he came to stomping pound. Defenders caught the pain as his cleats tore up the ground. Mark Ingram was the first, the compact stick of dynamite. Dallas and the birds flew by that championship. He ran through the middle, put his shoulder in your ass. If you weren't on the ground, you were running out of gas, blowing through your chest. Trapping them from Bama's backfield beast. Henry came stomping like hell on wheels. Heisman in hand, breaking bones with steel. 2 KRC, he got wrecked. Too many men, still not enough to check. Blowing through your chest, no damn regrets. We run through pain, leave turf and sweat. Blowing through your chest, no